Hello everyone. Recently I had an exhibition, nothing crazy, just a little local shop and 13 of my finest works. And today I'm going to be talking about them and putting them in a little tier list because I need an excuse to talk about them. That's the best one I could find. We got a broad range of different types of art and subjects and stuff here because I was in my experimental phase. This was season 1 of my work, so it should be fun. Like an exciting day out on the beach. I wrote that down. That's a gag. I just put that gag in there. We'll have a laugh here for all the little gags that I put in. My first work of art is an experimental title, Anguish I. I called it that because it sounded cool. It's part of the Titles of Anguish series, which sounds even cooler. It's my attempt at sort of breaking the barriers of composition, having these little windows into different scenes instead of one big picture, and then having the little glass break in the corner, kind of like you're looking at a computer monitor and you see like the Windows error screen. I can't remember, is it like BIOS or the command center? So you know, it's a little bit of an attempt to sort of break the fourth wall. Not really, but kind of. You see the vision, right? Ultimately, it just comes from I was doing little sketches in my sketchbook, and I just sort of took like a snapshot of that, and I was like, what if I just made that jumble of drawings into a painting? Because, and you know, I quote, "Why not? Art has no rules." It's an interesting idea, and it lays some really nice groundwork for some of the future pieces, which I'll be talking about in a minute. So I'm going to give this one a modest B tier. It's not my favourite. It's not my favourite, but I like it. It's good. Anyway, I thought that was such a banger idea that I did it again, but this time we've got a dog vomiting stage centre. Welcome in. Anguish II, it's kind of like a little commentary on lolcows, or you know, people who do nasty stuff or ruin their lives on the internet, usually for money. Don't expect a crazy intellectual analysis of my own work. I just put the paint down. Somebody else can rationalize it for me. Tea time, we'll get to that. Anguish II contains a very interesting detail if you look closely. The chat is made up of real people's usernames and comments. I did a series of TikTok videos where I basically asked people, hey, you know, I need comments for this painting, I need suggestions, comment something, and your username will sort of be attached to it and be put on the painting. And, you know, a stroke of genius from me, I think. People really seem to dig the idea. They got really into it. I got 300 comments over the span of well, I say over 300 comments. I probably got something more like 500, 600, I don't know. I didn't count them. But it was over the span of 25 videos. Obviously, I couldn't fit all, you know, 300 comments on there, let's say. And a lot of the comments were really off topic as well. And I know it's supposed to simulate a real Twitch chat, and people are people, they will talk about random things, but you still have to, well, I still had to understand that this was still working within the confines of what would people actually be talking about if there was just a dog throwing up on a stream. What does that look like? The one thing that surprised me, I think, was I got so many comments from people who wanted to put their character ships on there, you know, when you want two characters to be romantic from a show or TV or something. But a lot of these were just characters I didn't know from franchises I had never heard of before, and I'm just come on, be for real. Things like that I just didn't believe would come up in a stream about a dog throwing up. Do you know what I mean? I don't think people's first thought is to type into chat their favorite shipping characters. That doesn't happen. But I don't want to be mean, you know. I appreciate people commenting anyway, and it was interesting, you know. Why not? It's not like I imposed any rules or anything. Anyway, I picked 25, give or take, I don't know how many exactly, including 2 comments that said, "What the dog doing?" which, you know, concluded my masterpiece. And believe it or not, this painting actually sold. Don't ask me. It sold for £745. I got less than that because there was a little bit of commission on top because of the gallery that I had rented out, kind of thing. But somebody paid £745 for this painting, which is actually insane. And I think probably the biggest sale that I'm ever going to make for the foreseeable future. So thank you to that kind gentleman, and I hope you know that this purchase has helped my career significantly, and that money is being reinvested. Completely on topic, I now have a website. Go visit nathaiola.com. You can view all my art, boring, submit your own art, exciting, help me decorate the site with GIFs and pics, read about what I'm working on. It's got a really nice like retro vibe. It looks like it's been pulled straight out of the 90s, that's what I'm going for. So, you know, you can find out all that good stuff over at nathaiola.com. Please and thank you. For the reasons above, I can't in good mind put this painting in anything lower than an S tier. It is a godly painting. Yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites. Someone else owns it now, so that's interesting. Feels kind of weird as well, having somebody else own a piece of art that you made and value it at that much as well. That's a surreal feeling I don't think I'll ever get over properly. Anyway, that very smoothly segues us to the final installment of the Titles of Anguish series, Anguish III, which I think I might have to censor. But you can view it at my website at nathaiola.com. It's set in some niche MMO from the days of old, where like the areas were made of 4 walls and a texture, and that was like a groundbreakingly immersive design, you know. Our crow lady here appears to us in a compressed JPEG file, and right about there I ran out of ideas, so the giant text box just says Anguish III. And I mean, I wrote down, it's kind of like the painting is aware of what it is or whatever. Yeah, because the crow is saying it. I don't know. The more I talk about my paintings, the more I feel underqualified to talk about them. You know, my own paintings. But I love looking at Anguish III. It's my favourite out of the 3, I think. It's the best aesthetically, like it's quite a really striking design. But it falls slightly short of Anguish II in terms of like context and the ideas behind it, so I'm putting it at like a solid A tier. Anyway, it's time to get normal with it. That's another gag, by the way. You can laugh. Put the flashing sign that says, "Here's an impressionist work of my wife." I did this in a couple of hours while invigilating a group exhibition I took a part of, which was like a really small local thing. I only had like 2 pieces up. People seem to like it. I don't mind it. It's quick, it's simple, it's not revolutionary in any way, and more like a study than an actual finished painting. So this one's probably going in C tier. Apologies to my wife that your painting is shit. Ghoul, scary little man running across the screen in a cape. This is a part of my Ghouls and Critters series where I paint just like really simple little things to use up small canvases. This painting also sold for £30, which isn't bad. So someone must have really liked it. I actually really like Ghoul, and I'm not sure why. I think it's cute. Yeah, there's nothing deeper than that. It's simple, it's cute, it looks nice, it's kind of funny. I'm gonna put it in B tier, which I feel like is way higher than it should be. I mean, it's in the same tier as Anguish I, but it is also in my list and I can do whatever I want. So I might even put like a few things up on the screen, just decorate the place, make it feel a bit more homely. In the same series as Ghoul, we have Rat, which is on an even smaller canvas. I mean, this thing was tiny. This one slightly horrifies me. It's a good painting, and I like rats, but this, like, the rat is just ugly as hell. There's just something about it. He's also fat. I made him fat. It was an accident. It wasn't supposed to be a fat rat. He is a fat rat. I also sold that one for, I think it was £20, £25. Good sale. But that one's going in D tier because something about it unsettles me. Andromeda. This is the least interesting entry. I was in my Facebook mom taking up a hobby and trying to monetize it era. I think it's a good painting. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just boring to look at. It's a pet portrait. It says nothing to anyone but me, and even to me all it's saying is this is a cat that you know. And newsflash, I know a lot of cats. F tier. I'm just not interested. I wanted to leave this next submission until last, but you probably wouldn't stay that long because I'm operating under the impression that everybody has extremely diminished attention spans, thanks to the popularity of short form content and the subsequent monetization of your attention. So I'm about to show you the magnum opus now, but here's a piece that I lovingly titled Tea Time. I mean, this is a work of generational art, you know? It will go down in history as the single best and most beautiful piece I have ever created. I did it while high as fuck in my room, and it is a masterpiece. I don't know where it came from. People love the Weevil. It carries itself. It received the most praise out of any of the paintings. It is my highest performer wherever I post it. It just seems to do really well, in comparison anyway. I think to try and explain it would just be doing it a disservice. You just get it. You look at it, you get it, right? To put it in anything other than S tier, I think would be insulting to the work and me, in regards to the fact that I hold the painting in a higher regard than I do myself. Like, I don't believe I was able to do such a beautiful piece. So, you know, I'm putting this in, if there's an S+, it's going in S+, if not, it's S. My next one isn't my proudest moment. This is Weevils Gambling. You know, they say every masterpiece has its cheap copy. Until I had finished painting, I didn't realise was derivative of that one painting of the dogs gambling. You know the one? Like, I knew about the dogs gambling, but I wasn't connecting the dots. And then I finished it, and then I remember I showed it to someone, and they were like, "Oh, that looks like the painting of the dogs gambling." It was a lukewarm hit. People liked it, but I placed it amongst the titles of Anguish, and so it didn't really stand out. Like, it wasn't the most unique piece there. But I think this thing is wicked. Like, it's just a couple of Weevils slinging cards in a smoky basement. It is what it is. They're drinking some kind of red juice. It did do numbers on Reddit though. It was on the front page of r/Weevil Time for like a day or two, so, you know, remember your place when you speak to me. It's a very expressive piece, and the little guys, you know, they're chattering away. They hit me, I'm 21, he doesn't know how to play the game kind of thing. They're playing poker as well, not blackjack. And I don't know how to play poker, so I was just kind of painting what I think poker looks like. So that's something as well. Anyway, I'm putting it in C tier. I don't think it has enough to compete with some of the other works, but it is like a really nice standalone painting, and you should buy it. Did I mention my website, nathiola.com, has a shop? No, you do. Next on the conveyor is 3 crows harassing a buzzard, a title that is way too long. That's a whole sentence, and I gotta write it like that every time, but from the picture you can probably guess this is where I'm dipping my finger into minimalism, trying to get the most out of the least amount of effort. It's what I call like commercial art that's made to be consumed. It's very easy to make, it's very kind of acceptable, it's not commercial. It looks good on a wall, like it has a really high aesthetic value. It's not exactly representative of me or unique in any meaningful way. Like, you wouldn't see it and go, hey, that looks like Nathiola's work. So it's still a lovely piece of wall art, and I really like it. I'm happy with it, I'm proud of it, and I'm putting it on in C tier. A portrait of 2 witches, a nice little portrait of 2 ladies of whom I share the same studio building with. They're interesting characters and good subjects for a portrait as well. This was mainly for practice. But yeah, they're performers, they're fire performers, they do things. I'll link their whatever I can find in the description. But no, they're nice people, and they were very, very nice to let me take pictures of them dressed up and do a painting of it. I think I did a really good job on the faces. I'm really quite happy with this, especially because it's such a stressful piece of art. Like, when you do a portrait, you kind of have to get it right, otherwise people are gonna hate you. What's worse than the humiliation of doing something wrong that you're supposed to be good at, or like you've claimed that you're good at? Do you know what I mean? Like, very obviously when you say you're going to do a portrait of someone, there's an expectation to do it perfect. I think I did it just about good enough. I am very happy with it personally, and they were also happy with it too. So yeah, B tier. I like it. I think it's good. All right, last few to speedrun now. Feels like I'm in a corporate meeting. I'm not. I'm making a YouTube video. Let's slow it down. Geisha. This is the most recent piece out of all of these, if you'd believe it. I was initially really happy with it. It looks like mass-produced art, something you'd see at TK Maxx. It is kind of way out of left field for me as well. Like, this isn't really something that I would do. I bought a like traditional Japanese inking picture, and it was quite nice. And I wanted to kind of recreate some like inking and stuff. But obviously I don't have ink, I just have oil, and I thought, hey, you know, I could do something with this. And so I painted a geisha, and I wrote that down. I wrote down because I don't really have words to describe it. It's okay, it exists. But again, I wouldn't show this to people as an example of my work. This is just something that exists. I don't think it's unique, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm putting it in D tier, I'm sorry. Penultimately, we're almost there. Train door. Yeah, this will be a quick one. I'm not too sure about this one. It's a little sloppy, the colours are slightly off in the window. It's a nice idea, and it's like a creative use of the long canvas. But again, I wouldn't show this to people as an example of my work. I did kind of just throw it together for the exhibition, and like, I like it, and I think in the right context it could look quite nice on the wall, but F tier, obviously. In a big twist of irony, I'm going to conclude my list and my video with the first ever painting I ever did. I never thought that this work would make it as far as my first exhibition, but alas, it has, and it sold a few prints as well, which is cool. The first time I ever got my hands on oil paint was because I wanted to paint a Weevil, and I thought the beautiful, rich, baroque look of oil was the only suitable way to paint this gracious insect, and that's what we call the butterfly effect. Now here I am now. That's kind of crazy. I do love the Weevil. My wife has it because I can't bear to sell it or give it away. It just means too much to me personally. It's a gorgeous little painting, but even more than that, it's a piece of my history. So easy A tier. And also it's quite good. I'm quite like a first ever painting, and I come out with that. That's impressive. Anyway, that's it. Thus concludes my return to the video sphere and fun little commentary video. I thoroughly hope you have enjoyed at least a bit of it. I thank you for watching. Go visit my website nathiola.com for some cool things to do. And au revoir, au vidéo.